Здравейте на всички, аз съм Хънтър и добре дошли в 112 епизод от поредицата на Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. Продължава, където бяхме стигнали тук при нашия приятел Handle the Inheritor. Мислехме, т.е. чудехме се. Не, за последно дигнахме митичния левел, но се чудехме дали да потегнем към този портал или да отворим портала с ангелчето. Обаче, мисля първо да пробваме този портал, тъй като за него нямаме квест. Да видим какво ще стане. Какво accept? О! И какво? Аз не мога да отида никъде обаче. Сме в някакъв адски град такъв. Добре, дано да има някъде, където мога да си продадем нещата тук. Аз нищо друго не мога да правя. Знаете ли какво? Тия портали може би ще са нещо като fast travel, сега като отидем в града. Може би той ще ни отвори портал за града. Сега ще видим. Добре. I've learned everything I wanted to know in this place. It's time to open the portal and press on. Then let us begin the pursuit at once. The hand of the inheritor exclaims fervently. The portal begins to glow brightly, and the hand of the inheritor gestures forward, his hand clenched in a fist, onward, wherever this road may lead us. After approaching the portal, the angel freezes. Heaven above, just look at that. I see the pattern of sky-piercing spires and steep domes set against the midnight sky. This is Alushinira, the damned city of Manticore. That's where our enemies were heading. Think you're quick, eh? Well, I'm quicker. Какво стана? The angel's blade is just a moment too late to touch the skin of the demon who rushes into the portal. That cunning creature has stolen our key. The portal is inactive again, I swear. Even the lowest of the abyssal creatures are disgusting and despicable. This portal leads to Oceania. What could this mean? It means we will be looking for a particular clutch of demons among thousands of their kind. Alushinira is a real demonic metropolis. It's huge and macabre. It is a little safer, or rather a little less dangerous than the other corners of the abyss. Lady Nocticola loves having visitors, including those from other planes, and she does not like it if her guests are dying every day in her city. But if it happens quietly and without too much attention, her black heart won't even skip a beat. We must be even twice as careful in this nest of sin. Will we have to move onward together? I don't think that will be necessary. We need an outpost in the abyss, and it will be best if we build it right here, far from larger demonic settlements, and close to an active portal that will allow us to return here at any time. All your companions that are currently unoccupied should take care of guarding and setting up the camp. Alright. I've got a second key. I've got a second portal. The demon plots cannot stop us, but we still haven't had much success encountering them. That is why we must make haste and move onward. It means we'll be looking for step into the portal. Let's go. Let me tell you something, champion. We're going to Alushinira, the city of cunning and seduction. As sad as I am to admit it, we are unlikely to find our enemies in the Naedrian crystals they took without the aid of the designers of this hideous place. If Hebsmira has something to do with all this, we'll need another demon that matches her powers. We'll need to find a way to make contact with one of the city's rulers. At that point, we now know that there is a conflict brewing between Nocticola and Baphomet. I will not be welcome in this dark place, but I have prepared for this. The angel seems truly proud of his plan. I will cast a spell on myself so that not a single descendant of this plane whose soul is devoted to evil will be able to see or hear me. Invisible, I will follow you and protect you from all dangers and temptations of this place as best I can, and the demons will be unaware of my presence. Now, let us go by the light and the sword. Can find previous cues from current dialogue by scrolling up. Добре, дават някакви тук хинтове, които на нас са ни, така бих казал, ясни. Добре, града започва от тук, Това е порталчето. Knowledge World. Насам път няма. Добре. Judging by the surroundings, these are the slums of Ulshinida, Noctigula's capital city, the abode of beggars and vagabonds. It is impossible to descend any further, except into the waters of the ocean itself, where the bodies of the unfortunate are dumped. Unfortunate indeed. Look, another mortal. You can't swing a dead cat without hitting one of Ulushinida's guests nowadays. Merchants, travelers, demonologists, every kind of filth.
Our path leads on.
Да си поговорим с демоните, които до сега убивахме. Интересна промяна, така да се казва. Тук как отивам всъщност? Как скачваме тук? I need to get up there. Finding your way around to Lushinir. In this strange abyssal realm, space itself sometimes behaves weird. In weird, unexpected ways. By turning the camera due south, northeast, or west, you can change the city itself around you, opening new paths. Какво?
It went splendidly.
The abyss is chaos, and everything in it is constantly changing in both appearance and nature. Even the architecture of the city is in constant motion. This is the guiding principle of its design. Не, виж, това се издига. Какво е това? Ха! Забавно. Добре, да, тук какво правим? Аз искам тук да скача, за да мога да взема тия неща. Интересно. Обаче не мога да се качим там. Трябва да използваме магии. А аз не искам в момента да го правя това. Така. Ще трябва по някое време да... Чакай малко. Тук какво има? Тук на сам път няма всъщност. Добре. Значи тая сграда. Смога това да го смъкне и да мина отсам. Обаче първо искам да скачим тук горе. Нещо тук случва ли се? Оп. Така се прецакваме всъщност. Beggar slaves, commoner. Трябват ни мърчанти. Hallucinate guest. Опа, climb rooftop. Beggar slave, commoner, beggar slave, commoner. Things to see and hallucinate. A pamphlet by Brisbane Games Bar. Into the Bad Luck Tavern. Намерихме таверната. Зара. Тук има някакви неща за взимане. Някакъв лут.
Godspeed. Something over there.
Така. Let me just take that
It
over
was
you.
useful to you.
She need a guest. The rooftop. Тук пак се сменя нещо. Athletics. Значи може да скачиме тук, може да дойдем насам. Може да влезем into the Bad Luck Tavern. В таверната на лошия късмет. Добре, нека да влезем в таверната на лошия късмет, да видим какво ще стане там. Да се надяваме, че няма да пропуснем нещо из града преди това. Таверната на лошия късмет, бац. Така. Тук има неща за събиране. Естествено. Prismatic ring. Allows to cast improved version of prismatic spray. Нищо особено. Тук имаме commoners. Нещо разкрихме. Не. Никой да не отива там. Къде е този трап? Чакай са. Аз не виждам. Този трап е от сам някъде.
But Desna, please, allow me to keep my lovely, irresistibly beautiful wings?
Yep. Така. Тук добре. Пиклок.
I finished here. Is there more?
Намерихме ресурсче, което ни трябва. Тези брадви не са ни нужни. Имаме камънър. Много камънъри, много нещо. Лушнира гест. Тази таверна е много голяма. Чакай да видим в тази стая, тук при този странен комунър. Втория етаж е тук. Добре, нека да видим първо какво става на първия етаж. Slave. Опа, ето тук има с кой да си говорим. Familiar face. Look at this. Аз даже знам кой е. Ето сега имаме Nexus. Тоест може да се телепортираме тук или навънка. Жестоко. Какво има още тук? Може би ще мога да продаваме на... не е време май да продаваме даже. Добре, нека да сейвнем тук и да пробваме да продадем на този бургас всичките ни джънк предмети. Първо ще говорим с The Familiar Face. This halfling with his horribly burned face and crimson whiteless eyes looks strangely familiar. After a moment's recollection, you remember his features. This is the sobbing man who stumbled into a nest of vescivores and lost his sight as a result. Lucky for him, you arrive just in time to pull him out of the ditch, only for him to end up in an even more dangerous and sinister place. Who are you? The halfling scans you suspiciously with his terrifying red eyes. He speaks in a silken voice while his hand carefully hides under his clothes, where undoubtedly a weapon is hidden. The name's Sam Crow. And just who are you? Don't you recognize me? I saved you from those Vescavors. For a few seconds the halfling is silent, stunned, and then exclaims in excitement. From one eerie eye, a single bloody tear appears. Out of the sheer emotion, perhaps. I thought your voice was familiar, but for the life of me, I just couldn't remember where I'd heard it. So it was you. What a surprise, what a joy. I thought I was gone. And then you grabbed me by my skivvies and snatched me out of the claws of death. I never had the chance to repay you. When I came to, I looked around and there were crusaders everywhere. My first thought was that they got me. They'd caught up to me, those pious dogs. I hadn't noticed that I was unbound and unguarded until later, when I took off running. I wasn't right in the head, you see. I had a nasty fever, and I didn't even get the chance to meet my savior. But not this time. I'm not going anywhere. Here, take it. This is for old Samcrawl, the scoundrel who still lives and breathes instead of laying death in the blasted canyon. What's wrong with your eyes? I thought I healed you. The halfling grunts grimly. The Vescavors left some crap behind. Some kind of acidic slime, or maybe those wretched laid their eggs. I don't know. Whatever it was, on the 7th day my left eye went dim, and on the 9th some sort of shadow spawned in my right one. It kept wriggling in there. A healer in the battle bliss cut out my old eyes and sewed these instead. Now I can see in pitch darkness and tell difference in temperature and do a bunch of other stuff. A master of his craft, that healer was, ruthless though. How did you end up in that crevice? As soon as those crusaders started mopping up our forces in Kenebris, I knew it was time to split. Them Eagle Watch interrogators snooping around everywhere, asking questions. Just how did Baphomet cultists get into the city with such ease before the attack? You know, half your agents are scholars, not spies. Half our agents are scholars, not spies. Catch one and he'll rat out the rest. So I was out of there in an instant, and on my way back to my mates. I wish I could have found the proper guide, though, so I wouldn't have fallen into the Vescavor nest. Why were you scared of the Crusaders? As I was legging it away from Kenebris, I just couldn't shake the image of the gallows they'd hand me from, for treason and all that. You wouldn't believe all the stunts I pulled off. I smuggled Lady Minago's letters into the city, hid cultists under the guise of merchants' guards in my own home, brought Faxon into the Tower of Estrel, did some research on the Blackwing Library for Lord Sanity, who showed the demons where the Crusader barracks were on the first night. Me. They were all cut down, unarmored and half asleep, when the resistance gathered at the Defender's Heart. Who was it that found out who told the demons about it? Me again. The whole thing hinged on messengers and spies like me. That's why the Crusaders wouldn't gladly hunt me if I were caught. Why work for the demons? All for wizardry knowledge. I've always been curious to a fault, especially when it comes to magic. Once I was allowed wizard's books, there was no stopping me, so I met a guy who let me read a whole bunch of banned books. It wasn't until later that I found out that he was an apprentice of Xanathir the Plagued One himself. Now that one knows a lot. So I asked to be the Plagued One's apprentice too. That's how I chose my side. What are you doing in the abyss? The halfling gives you a sly smile, which looks rather creepy with his red eyes. Same thing you are, hiding. You're one of us Baphomet agents too, right? Why else would you hole up in this dump with me instead of fighting over in Galarian? I have a keen eye, and I can spot a fellow cultist from a mile away. Some crow grins smugly, clearly proud of his own insight. За момента няма да се заяждаме с него. Нека видим другите. Take care now, and remember, this is no Galarian. Things are rougher here. Mielara. Greeting you with a nod is a middle-aged sorceress with a short dark hair, a skinny face and prominent cheekbones that bring to mind images of predatory birds. Despite the dark circles under her eyes and her overall worn-out look, her voice sounds friendly and welcoming. Hey, you're not a local, are you? Have you come from Golarion? That makes us fellow countrymen since I hail from Absalom. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Magister Mielara, a certified specialist in resolving magic-related issues, and the captain of an airship called Starcatcher the Third. What's a sorceress from Absalom doing in this rat hole in the middle of the abyss? For a couple of seconds the woman's gaze grows distant, and a bitter expression appears on her face before quickly fading. I suppose you could say that I am trying to cheat my own fate. In the current stage of my life, the abyss seems like the best port to call home for me. There aren't a lot of experienced and, at the same time, trustworthy captains around here, so I never sit idle. You seem honest. How do you manage to survive in this place? Frowning a little, Mielara crosses her arms in a resolute gesture. I see what you're getting at. You're asking how a captain who doesn't grab everything that isn't bolted down, a captain that doesn't steal cargo and doesn't throw passengers overboard, how can they survive surrounded by a gang of bloody pirates? My answer is simple. My principles protect me. I strictly follow the unwritten aeronaut code. I never ignore those in distress. I never attack other vessels. And I honor the integrity of the cargo that I am entrusted with. Maybe I look like an idiot to the other captains, but I don't care. The dodginess earns their respect, even if it also provokes their ire. Besides, they know that I am stubborn, and I'll defend myself to the very end. I suppose that's the real reason why they haven't slit my throat and seized my ship yet. I'd like to know more about you and your ship. I can understand your curiosity. You won't find another ship like the Starcatcher the Third in the Abyss. Actually, captains like me are rarity here as well, for obvious reasons. Tell me about your ship. Starcatcher the Third, as you can guess by her name, is not the first ship I've captained, but she is without doubt the most technologically advanced, and she has been through the most amazing adventures. She's the most reliable and neat vessel you can find in the Midnight Isles. She and we've been through serious hardship more than once, but my ship has never failed me. Once Starcatcher the Third even made a short raid to the Rift of Repose, the place where the souls of murdered demon lords slowly disintegrate, imprisoned inside crumbling stone sculptures. Plus, I should also note that Starcatcher III has a unique reputation in these parts. She has never participated in pirate raids, never transported smuggled goods of slaves, never passed by other vehicles in distress without providing help, and never been in service to any of the demon lords. I can't think of any other ship in the Midnight Isles that enjoys such a good and honest reputation. Mielara utters the last words with pride, as if she were talking about a living creature instead of an airship. Who works on your airship? Oh, тя лети. Nice. Летящ кораб. Who works on your ship? I handpick my crew personally and extremely meticulously. I try to recruit those who are not completely corrupted by the prevailing customs of this place. Let's put it that way. Even here, there's a chance, a rare one, but still a chance, to meet a mortal with a good heart, someone who, though poisoned by this malicious environment, is not yet beyond redemption. I do my best to help these people, and if I'm successful, I give them enough gold so they can relocate to some other plane, then I send them on their way. I hope that this way I'll be able to save at least some decent souls. Alas, in this case, failures come much more often than successes, so to protect my good-hearted but corrupted crew from making irreversible mistakes, I have to rely on some spells. With a smile, Mielara taps her finger against her temple. I call it disciplinary thought correction. Добре. Starcatcher the Third, so there was a first and second. The cheerful smiles of the sorcerers fade away. Starcatcher the Second crashed on the rocks of Alintia. We were sailing over Mara Island when a mutiny broke out. It's an evil place where discord and hostility filled the air like a noxious miasma. A part of the crew tried to seize the ship. The others remained loyal to me and the massacre ensued. Defending myself, I had to find my friends till I was the last one standing, the last survivor. All by myself, I barely managed to guide my ship to Alintia, but when I was bringing her into land, the rocks tore into her like fishmonger gutting a fish. Starcatcher II was irreparably damaged. As for me, I escaped with a couple of bruises and a chipped tooth. The sorcerer squeezes out a bitter smile. As for Starcatcher I, it was because of her that I decided to settle in the abyss. How'd you wind up in the abyss? The face of the sorceress becomes grim. Her words seem to come from somewhere cold and remote, as if from a grave. From the grave. I was once a member of the Arcanamirium, the most prestigious magic academy in Absalom. Back then, I was a captain too, and I delivered special cargo and passengers at my colleague's request. I'd been assigned to a risky and extremely important rescue mission on the plain of Abaddon. I had to rescue a group of Pathfinders who had gotten into hot water there. I literally ripped them out of the claws of the gravedigger, the herald of Xiphus, god of accidental and pointless death. And that son of a bitch never forgave me for that show of disrespect. He put a curse on me. People around me started dying, both those I cared about and those I'd never even heard of. News of horrible, pointless and tragic accidents that cut lives unnaturally short followed me wherever I went. But nothing happened to me. I managed to get out of the trouble, any trouble, without a scratch, even when violence ragged all around. I tried to get rid of my curse, but no one could lift it. Soon after that, Starcatcher I was wrecked in a terrible storm. Then I decided to go into voluntary exile and stay away from the places where civility, mercy and common sense are valued. Here in the abyss I can at least avoid mourning those whose lives are cut short due to my curse. Besides, the abyss is insane and bloody enough even without me, so my cruel fate can add very little to this crazy whirlwind of aggression. I see. The sorcerer smiles briefly. I am always at your disposal. God promise. Fair winds to you too. If you find yourself in need of an excellent airship and skillful captain, just let me know. Усещам, че пътищата ни ще се пресекат отново. A wrinkled demon with broken fang and a missing eye stands before you. The eye socket is occupied by a large, squirming, multi-legged insect, yet it seems not to cause the demon any discomfort. He greets you with a venom in his tone. Welcome to the bad luck. I'm Burgas, the innkeeper. Our establishment upholds high standard of service in that it's better to eat and drink here instead of a ditch. Sleep here at your own risk, drown the rest of your life in cheap swill, or purchase goods of the highest quality and dubious origin. Upon giving you entourage and uprising look, the demon adds on a silken voice. We accept payment in gold and slaves. Tell me the latest rumors. The demon pours a shot of liquor that smells of blood and bitter ash. No problem, have a drink and we'll talk. 500 gold, no way. The demon shrugs. Your loss. Where can I find Nocticool? The demon goggles, then bursts into deafening laughter. Tiny bugs fly out of his maw. Wiping away bloody tears and giggling, he grabs a particularly nimble insect and tosses it back down his gullet. You can find her in the palace, mortal. The thing is, she doesn't see just anyone. The last person who had the nerve to show up uninvited now lives in the catacombs, and everyone calls him Scrap. Care to guess why? I don't know who you think you are, but you will not be allowed on her doorstep unless she invites you herself. And to receive an invitation from Nocticool, you've got to be an influential and renowned figure in Oceanera. Or you could do something to piss her off. Sometimes those two things are one and the same. How do I earn an invitation from Nocticool? The demon shrugs. Your chances are slim, but you look cocky, so you could try the gladiator fights in battle bliss. Everybody loves a good butcher. The, the dirtier, the bloodier you fight, the more respect you earn. Only fools fight their way. Nay, only fools fight fair, so you must prove you know the ways of the fighter's craft. The crowd will love you if you torment the loser before finishing them off. Make them shriek, squeal, and beg for death. And then you can count on having the fight of your life. You will face an Adrian League champion. Your death will be a symphony of suffering the audience will forever remember. Most can only dream of such a fate. You can cozy up to someone in the upper city. The more influential your patron, the more respect you will be shown. Just remember that in Oceania, only the most skilled predators make it to the top, like Lady Velexia. More often than not, their offer of friendship is an introduction to their intrigues. They will get into your head, twist your thoughts, make you hate yourself, and make you destroy everything you ever loved with your own two hands. That's their idea of fun. If you know how to, shall we say, solve problems, you could try to get under Shamira's wing. She presides over the harem of ardent dreams in the middle of the city and rules Oceania. Lady Nocticua does not stoop to such trifles herself. Commanding this city is dirty, bloody work, and Shamira is always in need of capable assistance, especially since she changes them as soon as they start to reek of her dark deeds. Walk through the slums, everyone will see there tried to climb higher but fell into a trap. There are plenty of warnings in their incoherent rumblings. Добре, show me your wares. Demon kicks open a large chest filled to the brim with all sorts of things. There are weapons and bloody clothing. It seems these items once belonged to visitors from many different worlds. Here you are, have your gold ready? I don't offer credit. A demon's voice drops to a whisper. By the way, I have something unique I can offer, only to you. An Ahydrian crystal. It holds incredible power. What's an Ahydrian crystal? You mean you haven't heard of them? But everyone in Oceania talks about them non-stop. Well, listen, this lot of demons appeared and they were so strong you couldn't help but wonder how did they acquire such power. And the strange thing is, those same demons used to be common riffraff, but then they became, well, I don't know what they are, but whatever it is, it's strong. Rumor has it these supposed Nairan crystals are the source of their power. Nobody knows what they are or how to get them, but everybody wants one. The word has grown quite popular. These days everything is Nahydrian this and Nahydrian that, no matter where you look. It's all hogwash and lies, of course, but my crystal is the real deal. Don't ask how I acquired it, it's my secret, but I could sell it to you. Fascinating. I'm interested. Нека да видим дали този кристал е това, което казва. Има magical acorn. This is a cooking ingredient. Nice. Demon Slayer soup. Обаче я имаме. Ahydrian crystal. This amulet grants where a personal competence bonus in knowledge world. 50 000. Не, няма да му дам 50 000 за тази глупост. Crystallized demonic rage. И имаме potion. Добре, аз мога да продавам тук неща, нали? О, братчето. Така. Ashmaker, Quarter Staff, Flaming Burst, Flaming Enchantment, Monk Weapon. Grants Wielder plus 2 attack and caster level Vocation School. Какво? Flaming Burst, Quarter Staff grants its wielder plus 2 bonus on attack rolls and to caster level for all Evocation School spells. Значи 2 на Evocation. 2 левела на Evocation. Literal Speed Skimper. Cold Iron Dagger. Тези лъкове няма да ни трябват. Плюс едно скимпер. 86 000 само до тук е така. Страхотно. Great Axe. Брейкари. Сайт на плюс 3. Тук имаме лъкове, всякакви неща. Тази фалката беше някаква яка. Затова няма да я продаваме. Фалсилно плюс 2, брандишно плюс 3. Unholy Longspear. Не. The Blitz. Corrosive Quarterstaff не ни трябва. Balanced Defender ще си го запазиме. Honorable Judgment ще го запазиме за сега. Просто защото не знам дали тия артефакти могат да се апгрейдват по-късно. Затова ги пазиме. Така. Chain Shirt плюс 3. Mitral Breastplate на плюс 3, на плюс 2. А тия що са на различен стак? Много странно. Mitral Chain Shirt. Height Armor няма да използваме. Adamantine Full Plate. Нямам нужда от нея. По-скоро ми трябва нещо друго. Така. Първо да продадем тези рандом пръстенчета и амулети. Пръстени на плюс 1 със сигурност не ни трябват. Резистанс плюс 1 не ни трябва. Engraved Bracelets плюс 1 амулет. И имаме доста предмети, които не знаем какво да ги правим. Сега си имам... Мисля, че имахме алюринг, чаризма, така на плюс 4, значи плюс 2 няма да ни трябва. Braces of Armor плюс 2 са слаби, имаме вече една четворка свободна. Storyteller's Ring. Тези неща мисля да не ги използваме. Agile Fist на плюс 1 е слабо. Mighty Fist също така ще ги продадем. Тук имаме Vast Intelligence на плюс 4, значи тези си отиват. Някакви бутушки. The wearer of these boots adds their rank in athletic skill as a bonus to the damage roll successful charge attack. Prismatic Ring. Reckoning Torture. Какво ще имам, което мога да продам? Скролове и такива неща обикновено не продаваме. Тук имаме много неща. Ledger. Brewed 3 barrels. Receipts. Obstinate 3 bottles. Добре, тия книги може и да ни трябват. Handful of Gems. Продаваме тук всякакви кожи и неща, които не ни трябват. Коала. Кристални топки, дами и господа. Shining Scale. Shining Shell. Fine Feather. Golden Ashtray. Така. Тук има скъпоценни камъни, колкото искаш. Gold Powder. Grinding Stone. Redstone. Bottle of Oil. Някакви глупави предметчета, които не ни трябват. Golden Ingot също не ни трябва. Essence не ни трябва. Тук имаме много неща. Jade Clasp. Добре, това. Скапарт. Не знам си още какво. Artificial Flower. И мисля, че това е всичко обаче. Тук имаме други неща, които не знаем да ни трябват. Не ни трябват, затова ги пазиме. Така че 167 000 директно в нашото джобче. Сега, дали да вземем този нахидрин кристал, който казва? Той е някакъв амулет. По-скоро той се опитва да ни прецака с това нещо. Няма да го купувам. Няма логика в това нещо да е нахидрин кристал. Може обаче да има кристал в амулета. Факт. Но защо биха го сложили в амулета? Те ги слагат кристалите в самите демони. Значи нещо не е наред тук. По-скоро се опитва да ме метне този тип. Затова оставяме нещата така. Така. Сега, говорихме тук с тази, говорихме с него, той ни даде информацията, която ни трябваше. Какво още имаме тук?
Is that a trap? It might be a trap.
Така. Имаме разни неща за събиране. Опа, тук има нещо. Как? Ред маск. Някакъв странен тип. Добре, и с него трябва да си говорим, значи. Трябва да съм честен, очаквах да имаме повече интеракция в града, въпреки че ние все пак не сме стигнали кой знае колко да сме видяли в града, но за момента поне леко малко ми струва. Get lost. I'm not looking for drinking companions. Добре, а това какво е? Това е портала, боже. Да. Дайте да видим какво става на втория етаж. Освен това имаме втори изход от тук, след това ще минем и натам. Някакви гардове, тия бяха някакви, ето, взимаха души и работи. А защо са гардове тук всъщност? Аз минах от другата страна. Аз не просто минах от другата страна, аз качих горе. Качих се горе. От тук пътя беше насам покрай тази сграда и можем да скачим някъде. Мога да мина насам натам. Добре, лошото е, че ние сега като се движим тук, някакви неща се преместват. Какво има тук? Тук е това нещо, където можем да се качваме и можем да слизаме. Аз трябваше отдолу да... Добре, няма значение. Какво като се местят са? Lore religion. Това няма как да го... Ouch! Alright guys, that's enough. I get it. It won't happen again. Just not my eyes, not my eyes. Move your hands, come. Or we'll break the other one too. I said move it. A group of demons laughing with glee is kicking a skinny babao curled up on the ground. Not your eyes? Fine. Then your belly. Have some of this. What are you doing? You're hurting him. Ember dashes toward the demon laid out on the ground, shielding him from the blows. Stop! Why are you doing this to him? What's that? The demons goggle at the girl. I'm just a mortal, weak and silly. Compared to you, I'm a mayfly. One moment I'm here, the next I'm gone. But you'd better listen to what I tell you because I've lived more than you have. Listen to her carefully. This might be the most important thing you hear in your entire lives. Yeah, right. We've always dreamed of listening to what a charred piece of meat has to say. The demon draws close to the girl and looks her over with contempt. What's with all the riddles? What do you mean you've lived more than us? It's very simple. I haven't lived very long, but I have friends. Those I can protect. Those who are glad to see me. There are many sad things, but I still know what happiness is. But you? Beating, biting, fearing, hating each other. Are you really happy? And if you aren't, is this any kind of life? So yeah, I've lived a lot, but you've spent centuries and centuries without really living. Bah, this mortal brat, this lump of meat is going to preach to us. The demon gives a predatory sniff, bends down and shows off his mouth filled with sharp teeth. You know what makes me happy? Gobbling up tasty pieces of meat like you. Amber looks at him serenely. She reaches out and strokes his horned head with her burnt palm. Poor thing, you're so hurt and scared all the time. You feel a bit better for a while when you torture others and forget about your suffering. But is that really happiness? The demon recoils from her touch. There is a combination of surprise and terror on his fearsome face. Are you crazy or something? Определено си е плашещо наистина такова отношение, честно да си призная. Така че нищо чудо, че и демона се оплаши. The demons stand around Ember. Their faces show caution and rapacious interest. Rapacious interest. Не знам, даже не мога да произнеса това нещо. It is clear that they are slightly afraid of the strange girl who shows no fear, but at the same time they see no obvious threat. Rapacious, може, не знам. Ember, this demon is wounded. Words are all well and good, but let's help him. Oh, you're right, how embarrassing. There, Ember whispers a spell and the demon's wounds heal. Той не е undead, така че може би това не му прави демидж. The Babal jumps up and runs away from Ember and the demons who were beating him. Screw you, I owe you nothing. Of course you don't, Ember smiles serenely. I helped you for no reason, just because I wanted to. I hope you'll be alright. Ha! For no reason. You're stupid. No one does anything without a reason. She's a witch, probably wants to sell us something, some magic potions or herbs. Come on, show us what do you have. What? No, I'm not selling anything. I just wanted to tell you how much you're missing. I mean, you're free. Freer than anyone in the world, but you see this freedom to make life miserable for yourself and everyone else. Just think how much happier it could be. Ember keeps preaching. The demons listen, occasionally interrupting with laughter and obscene jokes. Finally, they grow bored and walk away. They left. Do you think they understood anything? If anyone in the world can convince a demon to repent, it's you. Thank you, but it's not about me. There is kindness in every creature, even in demons. They just forgot about it for some reason. You know, I was thinking, I tried sending prayers to the demon lords and tried talking to demons in the street, but one of the demon lords lives right here in this city. Pretty cool, right? What if I try to talk to her, not through prayer, but in person? You are going to meet her sooner or later, aren't you? Please take me with you. I'm sure if we meet face to face like you and I are talking right now, I'll be able to convince her to stop being so mean. You'll take me to her, promise. Естествено, че ще те взема. Така, какво имаме тук сега? Тук имаме атлетикс. Този атлетикс ни качва тук чак. Там имаме ковчежи. Добре, значи ние там трябва да скачим. Обаче сега тук, този Lore Religion, Character, Lore Religion 21. 23. Двадесет и три е много малко. 38 ДЦ. Аз ще трябва да се бъфна зверски тук. Guidance. Heroism. И пак ще трябва, в смисъл рола ще трябва да е някакъв много тежък рол. Тук ще трябва да го правим това 100 години, за съжаление.
I'm all done here.
The symbols inscribed on the wall belong to the language of the Titans, the first creations of the gods and themselves, the creators of the sinister demodans. Значи най-забавното е, че това стана от първия път и аз направо не мога да повярвам, затова това заслужава веднага един quick save. Е така. Сега да видим дали ще скачим нагоре. Maybe later. Ау, 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 ау. Тук се пребихме направо, бе, брат. Ще всички да стават веднага. Я колко бой изядохме, стабилно бой си. Нека да направим едно голямо случай. Така.
I finished here. Is there more?
The Librarian's Cloak. This cloak grants Swear 10 competence bonus. Use magic device skill checks. It also increases the effective caster level by 4 when using scrolls. Librarian's Cloak. И това е доста добро за Ненио. Обаче ние имаме колков карнич, което ни дава Knowledge Arcana и 2 на DC for all saving throws against spells from the evocation, което по-ми харесва. От друга страна, ние това нещо може да го дадем на Ембър и да вземем това за скроловете, защото тя е скрол савант. Има бонус на тия скрол каст неща. Да съответно да се възползваме от повече скролове, в крайна сметка. Ние имаме някакви бойни скролове, имаме бъв скролове, има всякакви скролове. Даже аз не ги ползвам тия скролове, трябва да почна. Обаче ако го направим така, сега както имам 32, то ще спадне на 27 аркана. Тук ще имаме 30 аркана. Добре, така ще го направим обаче, защото е по-добрия вариант. А пък от друга страна, така пък ще загубя Saving Throws. Ама е по-добре пък магиите да се получават, отколкото Saving Throws, често казвам. По-добре магиосниците да имат... Да, мисля да го направим така определено. Това с какво се... Имаме War Mage, имаме Ring, Illusion, Spell Resistance, да, I'm using Scrolls, окей. Тука ще сложим Cloak в Carnage. 8-10-10. Добре, това е файн до голяма степен. Мене много ме кефи този Skinned Letter Cloak. Но се чува се пак дали пък да не си сложим 3 на Saving Throws. Защото така пък ще имаме много Saving Throws. Има ли някой, на който му трябва 3 Saving Throws? Тук това ни дава The wearer of this cloak of resistance lands a killing blow, they gain immunity to mind effect. За 3 рунда. Blood Clarity. Това просто е твърде добро с действие. И не искам да го сменям за още едно сейфче, така че го оставяме така. И другите си имат всъщност на метала. Ами добре, оставяме и нещата така тогава. Сега аз правя от време на време charge. Тук какво има? Competence bonus, saving throws against movement and parrying conditions. Тук какви бутушки имаме? Permanent effect of freedom of movement. Nice. Знаете ли какво ще направим? Аз имам страшно много сейвове. Вместо това ще го дадем на Free Dancer Boots. На някой, който му се налага да се движи повече, а именно на Social. Ще му дадем бутушките. Така, ние ще вземем тези Boots of Stampede, защото ние чачваме от време на време. А и си ни тичат на тежката броня. Така да се каже. Добре. Everything is fine. Сега трябва... Защо съм? Тук има нещо. Крайна сметка. Looks like these rooftops can be bypassed the guards and get to the streets above. Looks like these rooftops can be used to bypass the guards. Bypass the guards? Why? What guards? Чакай. Не искаш да кажеш, че насам е замък. И аз мога да вляза примерно в такова без да правя газари. Could be. Но направихме чека. Има 648. Guards. Ага, те пазят портите тук на... Добре, разбирам. Разбирам какво се случва тук. Те няма да ни пуснат насам. Добре, ние това, което трябва да направим е да разгледаме насам там какво се случва. Тук си имаме път. Тук продължавам нагоре. Това е изхода, през който ние минахме. Само обаче имаме път. Тук бяхме, не? Мисля, че бяхме. Добре, тук какво има? Нищо интересно. Мога да сляза някъде надолу. Всъщност не мога да слизам надолу. А какви са тия лилавите неща? Всъщност. Някакви кристали такива. Някакви летящи кристали. Тук са гардовете. Значи тук може да се качим в замъка без да... в смисъл да пропуснем гардовете. И това е вариант в общи линии. Добре, аз обаче искам да минем през цялата работа. Айде, тръгнали сме насам. Дайте да видим насам. Лушинира камъна. Неща. Па. Тук горе как се качваме на въпроса. По някакъв начин от някъде, може би отдолу по-скоро. Се местят тия неща, право разбиват тук. Добре, так да видим. Какво се случва? Тук сам няма нищо интересно. Чувам как някакви неща се местят. Този как се появи. Those freaks are whispering up there on the roof. I wish I could spill that blood. Intoxicated Demon's Leader. Въпросът е как се качва нагоре на тия rooftops. Аз мога да се телепортирам да има. Сигурно ще има някакъв друг вариант. Добре, дайте първо да видим тук долу какво става с този Intoxicated Demon Leader. That's some heady dope and no mistake. I feel like I could rip the head of anyone. Hey you outsider, how about I rip your head off?
Defeat is not an option.
Ела, щом така си мислиш, приятелче. Само да не те разочаровам такъв. Я да видим колко са силни тия всъщност. 23 АЦ е слабо, 19 АЦ е слабо. Този и този е силен. Този е печален. Аутсайдер, Chaotic Outsider. 168 кръв. Energy Resistance, Electricity. Някакси не мисля ще да хабя магии сериозно за него. Затова ще му направим ето така. Тия могат да идват вече. Аз предпочитам това да го убием първо, честно казвам. Това е така по-важният всъщност. Пауър елиминатора също не е запускана, ако е избием това. Леле мале. Какво става? Защо не мога да нападам? Тук всичко наред ли е? Ехо. Какво се случи, бе? Menace of Death cannot attack.
You're irrelevant.
Определено няма да хабя магия за тия смешни години.
Begone, fiend!
Too late for apologies.
Това нещо има консилмент. Тоест,
Prepare yourself.
Speak with your actions, not your words.
чакайте са. Аз защо не мога да нападам така? Това нещо не ми харесва. Както го дават. Те дай. Този има лък, брат ми. Добре. Сега ще видим какво ще го правим това нещо. Masterwork. Предполагам, трите са Masterwork, значи взимаме всичко. Момент сега. Първо искам да видя този амулет, който го сложихме. Whenever someone dies within 10 foot radius from the wearer of this amulet of natural armor, the wearer gets the effect of the spell haste for 2 to 3 rounds. This effect is renewed each time someone dies. After this effect wears off, the wearer cannot make any weapon or unarmed attacks for another 3 rounds. Значи Menace of Death. Добре, това много ме прецаква, да му съм ви. Пък аз си мислех, че сме много напред с този амулет. Той така, ако не може да напада, аз съм го закъсал зверски. Още по-смешното е, че нямам амулет, с който да го заменя така. Той тук е този на плюс 3. Ага, някой ще вземе на амулета на някой от тях. Много тъпо. Трябва да видим как се прави това нещо. Опа, лъка. Я да видим сега. Има нов лък. Защо нещата не са така? Не, обратното. Добре. Wherever the wielder of this axiomatic composure lands a first hit in a round against an enemy more than 30 feet away, the enemy suffers -2 penalty to AC for 2 rounds. Веднага го слагам, всъщност и да го чета и да не го чета, той е по-силен от моя лък, който е Longbow плюс 3. А пък беше Speed. Сега да лишим само 4 атаки, а? 30 feet away. Знаете ли какво? Те да е хубаво, обаче this ability forces you to come into a 30 foot range. И това ми дава атака и неща, point blank. А аз трябва да съм над, за да им свалям ацето. More than 30 feet away. Това означава, да, по-назад. Добре, аз ако спра това, я да видим какво ще стане. Спираме point blank. А то явно работи само все пак когато сме в range, иначе не го пише тук. То ми даваше и damage между другото, point blank. Нищо да е, с този лък ще го играем от по-голямо разстояние да ги целиме, няма да ги целим от толкова наблизко. Да, така че без point blank. Knowledge World, shit. Аз тук сейвнах ли? Не съм сейвнал в момента. Medium Encumbrance already. Интересно. Много бързо се запълват нещата тук. The signs on the wall indicate that the drug merchant can be found here. In the abyss there are many poisons that can plunge mortals into even demons into nightmares. Интересно. Защо ли ни го казват това нещо? Това е стената на замъка. Опа, порталче. Цък. Аз обаче от всякъде мога да ходя само тук. Аз си мислех, че поне така разкривам тези.
We march ahead.
Охо! To the Battle Bliss Arena. Значи насам е арената. Той какво ни каза също? Значи ние какво мога да направим? Walking Corpse, това ни е главния quest. Try to secure audience. The art of making friends. Secure an audience on the realm of ardent dreams. Walls are the material embodiment of any hierarchy. The invention of social ladder by necessity entailed the creation of fences and barriers to illuminate the social boundaries, separating the best from the worst. Even demons need walls, if only to break through them and dub them with obscenities to show their disdain for authorities. It is no wonder then that in order to vie for Shamira's attention, one must overcome one of the most prestigious and well-guarded borders in all of Roshinira and gain entry to the harem of ardent dreams. Conquest. The conquest of Roshinira. Become famous and get Nocticool attention. Only by capturing the city's attention and becoming the talk of Roshinira can one hope to attract the interest of Nocticool Lady in Shadow. Това е за арената, може би. Experiencing the bliss. А дали мога да ги направя тия всичките неща? Find someone who can arrange a fight in the arena. The conquest. Fame can be gained in a variety of ways. Violence, influential friends, or by providing valuable services. However, it is worth remembering that there is a price to be paid for such fame. To conquer Oshinira is also to be conquered by Oshinira. Rapture of Rapture. Many residents of Oshinira know that Lady Velexia, a noble from the upper city, offers patronage to young and talented individuals who manage to impress her. Before gambling one's fate in the hopes of winning the favor of such a demon, it is crucial to understand how demons think. But the favor of such an influential figure cannot be underestimated. Тоест, ние трябва да намерим някакъв начин да направим едно от всички тия неща. Въпросът е кое? Арената ми звучи като, нали, най-лесният вариант. Просто отиваме, нали, и се биеме срещу противниците. Дайте да видим и другите места из града. Аз искам да успеем да разгледаме целия град. Тогава да му мислим. Тук е въпросът как се качваме, обаче. И се ще. Изчезва ми от пътя. О, намерихме нещо скрито. Някъде. Намерих нещо скрито някъде. Обаче къде го намерих? Сигурно тук горе. Да, горе. Добре, чакайте сега. Влизаме обратно в Ина. И ще излезем от другия вход. Тук имаше вход. Другия изход искам да кажа. Че ние влязохме, мисля, че отсам. Само да излезем отсам. Ouch. The sounds around you fade and the world is plunged into eerie silence. Street noise never ceases in Oshinira, but even it has disappeared. You're surrounded by thick and impenetrable darkness from which three pairs of shimmering eyes observe you. A sibilant whisper reaches your ears. Explain yourself. Who are you and what do you want from me? Many questions, few answers. Nazirius. I am Nazirius. I kill. The monsters whispered. His sounds more like an icy blast of wind than human speech. It is impossible to say whether it is boasting, threatening, or simply stating a fact. Minago Dolilito. Purchased your death. Incomprehensible. You are immortal. Killing you is easy. Why did she not kill you herself? Why me? A trap? An opportunity? An enigma? Nazirus, what are you? There was a Fey Lord. There was an opulent court. There was a court executioner. The Lord was generous, gave the gift of death to many. Everything is different now. The Lord is overthrown. The court is disbanded. The executioner is gone. Now I'm here, battling death. You realize you're facing an uncle. These evil creatures have control over shadows and often serve powerful Fey Lords as executioners and assassins. It is not surprising this creature makes a living in Oceania as a killer for hire, now that its master is gone. And yet, this uncle looks unusual even for Fey. The creature must have somehow become tied by blood to the demons during its journey through the abyss. Before us is a representative of the Fey class, Genus Uncle. Born predators. Just look at the sharp teeth and claws, and the latter of which contains traces of cold iron. It is unknown whether this is a genetic mutation or an artificial transformation during this individual's lifetime. Mr. Uncle, would you be so kind as to submit one of your claws for scientific analysis? The claws are my property. If you want them, then buy them. The price is my death. Ah, consent for an autopsy. Even better. She shifts her gaze to you. What are we waiting for? One shouldn't underestimate mortals. I twice defeated me now. Clearer now, even more perplexing now. How could a mortal defeat a Lilith? Trickery? Cannot be tricked. I am here. I will kill you easily. I will send you to your death. I have laid waste to armies of demons. You cannot hope to overpower me. I was afraid of you. Why? Something is wrong. The monster lapses into puzzled silence. Now he's not a lord, just a client. The deal can be terminated, but there is a condition. Reputation. A cheated customer means a ruined reputation. Kill me, Nago. No client, no contract, no problem. Сега, чудя се да го оставим този асасин for hire. Има ли смисъл да го оставяме? Или да си го убием? Аз определено не съм просто фен на по-лесната част. Да, аз мога да убия Минаго, няма проблеми. Обаче да му свърша на този тип работата, аз по-добре да ги убия и двамата, често казвам. Някакъв асасин тук. Това демон сигурно ще е як, обаче. Дали ще мога да го бия? Не е ясно. Ще е хубаво да тестваме, обаче. Незириус. Да убием Минаго. Той най-вероятно може би ще ни нападне след това. Или може би ще ни нападне на друго место. Или дори да не ни нападне, аз какво печеля от това, че той оцелява? I've changed my mind. Die. You're eager to give death generous. Do mortals have lords? I think not. But you could be a lord. There is greatness in you. I'll give you a gift. If you fend off death at my hand, if you give me my death, Then Minago's death is yours by right. A house in the lower city appears in your mind. It disappears after a moment and a dry chuckle breaks the silence. Now you know, but this knowledge is useless. My gift to you was useless. You will die now.
Close ranks.
Дали, бе? Overcomes will saving throw failed or the shell dies. Странна работа, брат. Добре, да го видим това какво е. 31 АЦ. Spell Immunity Prismatic Spray. Effects. Conditions Prone. Damage Reduction Cold Iron. Така. А Prismatic трябва какъв демидж ми прави? Electricity. Electricity damage. Това нещо не е имунно на никакви неща. Аз мога да го запукам с големите Chain Lightning, честно казано. И даже няма да е лошо да го направя. Значи, и дес. Айде. Добре, аз на това направих ли му демидж всъщност? Май не съм. Bewildering Injury. Той прави някакви магии този. You missed. Така. Аз сега ще скъсам това. Нека да си върнем на шел. Има ли смисъл да хабя магия тук за този? Може би по-скоро не. Ще му направим фаер, така да се знае.
Retreat is not an option. Fall!
Добре.
Our path leads on.
You were saying? Така. Лошото е, че сега си загубихме бъфовете. Нищо да е. Така.
You're a good person. I like you.
Ще пробваме да се хилнем. Защо няма магия, бе? Човече. Трябваше да направя масово хил. Така. Ще направим един от главния герой. Сме файн вече. Така, тя сега трябва да се сложи в магии, да, декстерити. Идеално. Всичко наред ли е тук? Що не си е извадила лъка? На гърба е. Добре. Така, добре, интересна изненада. Паднаха ни тук лошите. Остана. Нещо тук. Горе. Горе имаме неща. Beggar, slave. Wolf. Кри. Добре. Това ми направи един призматик спрей, директно ми уби характера, така. Добре, че имах с какво да си го върна. Какво се случва сега? Group of dirty beggars in tattered clothes have gathered around a handsome young man with a messy dark hair. The crowd is clearly hostile, but he doesn't seem to notice. He gives the beggars a charming smile, completely oblivious to the sharp sheaths glinting in their hands. The young man has a gloved puppet in his hand, a dragon made of wax, with buttons for eyes. He raises it up and begins to ventriloquize in a surprisingly deep voice. Hey you, lousy parasites! Who is in charge here? The young man lowers his puppet and beams cheerfully. He addresses the crowd normally in a warm, friendly voice. I would like to invite your leader to a romantic dinner. With candles, I'll pay for everything, of course. Watch out, they might cut your throat. And I think they are very sweet, fierce citizens. The beggars whisper among themselves. You manage to catch a few snippets of their conversation. He's crazy, leave it be. And what if he bites you? Before the crowd disappears, the young man jots something down in his notebook. Irish. Jail cop. Знаете ли, че най-вероятно този ще можем да го видим сега в кръчмата? Човече, аз тук на всяка крачка се сблъскам с някакви неща. Всичко наред ли е? This place is creepy, isn't it? Even by the city standards. We shall cast her eyes over the devastated landscape of the slums. But you know, believe it or not, one of my few good memories of the abyss is from this place. Will you tell me what happened? It was a bad day for me. I was hiding from some dangerous demons I owed money to. Or rather, now I come to realize that it was just a low-grade street gang who must have been eaten up by someone stronger since then. But back then, they were a real threat to me. Their thugs have already made a hole in my side. And they were following my blood trail to finish what they started. I barely managed to find a quiet corner, some basement or shed, but it was already occupied by this tiefling. I was ready to flee, but he smiled and told me I could sit beside him on show smiles. I was probably acting like some skittish animal. I sat as far away from him as I could, ready to stab him or make a run for it at the moment's notice. But he just gave me a healing potion and told me I could hide there as long as I needed. We started talking. He was a traveler for some other plane, not Glorian though. He was also hiding, though I don't remember from who now. We remained in that hideout for several days. He shared his food with me, some kind of pancakes, odd ones, spicy. I never tried anything like that before. I thought he expected something from me in return. Well, you can guess what I thought he wanted, but he didn't lay a single finger on me. Instead of saying goodbye, he said, "Don't thank me, just pass it on." Back then I didn't get him at all. Only when I came to Dresden did I hear that phrase again and learned what it meant. What do you think the phrase means? It's like revenge, but turned around. A stranger does you good turn and doesn't demand payment. In exchange, you find another stranger and do them good in turn for free. It sounds odd. Demons wouldn't understand it. I barely understand it even now, but the main idea is to increase the good in the world, right? Did you ever meet him again? No, never. So, did you pass it on? You know, now that I think of it, I didn't. I've helped many people since then, of course, but all of them were mortals back on Glorian. I've never helped anyone in Lucinia, which means I still owe him a debt. Why don't you repay the debt right here and now? Now? But Horatio looks at the dirty streets and the even dirtier locals. You're right, why not? Hey you, wait, hold on, don't run away, just stay where you are. at a fast determined pace. Orisha approaches a dirty scab-covered abricandile. What you need? The demon's eyes dart around, seeking potential escape routes, but as soon as he realizes that no one is going to beat him up, he bares his teeth. You must, well, Succubus cringes under the little demon's glare and hastens to finish. You must need money, so here you go, take it. The abricandile snatches the pouch out of Arishel's hands and weights it in his crooked and deformed palm. Ha! So what I gotta do? Stab someone? Torch something? You don't have to do anything. This is simply for you, no reason. Pass it on. Succubus says the last words to the abricandile back as he scurries off. That's it, he's gone. I'm not even sure if there was any point in all that. I bet he didn't even understand a thing. You needed a lot of time to understand too. That's right. The confused expression on the Succubus face gives away to a timid smile. I don't know if I have really changed anything by giving gold to that poor wretch, but you know, I feel better now, and it's not because I repaid my debt to the traveler. It's just, I did something for someone by myself. I didn't think, I just did it. Before I only knew a world where everyone tried to devour each other, but now, when I know what it feels like to help others, I can think of another world, a world where everyone helps, and it's an amazing thought. Maybe that's what Elysium is like. Maybe. A sturdy door, locked and covered with frightening carved pictures. Добре, продължаваме да не мога да се качим тук на тия покриви. Трябва да видим как става този трик. От някъде се качваме. Може би от тук, където се качих, е могло да се прехвърлиме насам, знаете ли тази работа. И да минем тук през всички тия покриви и насам. Някакси така ще трябва да бъде. И тук отгоре имаме неща да събираме. Това го разкрихме по някое време. И тук имаме неща за събиране. Тук в началото също трябваше да се качиме по някакъв начин. Трябва да видя как точно да се обърна, за да може сградите да се наредят по правилния начин. А ние даже пристигнахме вече тук при... Тук имаше някакъв квест по-рано. Знаете ли тази работа? Добре, знаем къде е арената. Знаем къде е Ина. Тук това трябва да е замък. Защото можем да минем тук. Може и да не е замък обаче. Не би трябвало да е замък. Знаете ли тази работа? Защото тук сме в In the Slums по-скоро. Трябва да може да се качим нагоре към града. Така че може би това е път за по-високия квартал или нещо такова. Ама ще видим, не? В последствие. Гледаме тук в лайк. О, Зорджи, Зария. Някакви типове има тук. Добре, знаете ли какво ще направим сега? Понеже епизодът стана страшно дълъг, мисля да сложим край тук на епизода. И ето, Hellhound. Мога ли да видя какво представлява? Че не му знам статистиките. Не ми дава да му видя. Както и да е. Добре, ами това ще бъде всичко от този епизод. Къде сме... Къде сме запукали всичко? Не мога да видя какво е станало. Някъде нагоре. Така, това ще бъде всичко от този епизод. Благодаря ви, че гледахте. Надявам се да ви е било забавно. Желая всичко най-хубаво и чао-чао.